Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. It's Kim speaking on Thursday, the 26th of January. Looking at the euro dollar then, and well, it seems to be a bit flaky, I think is the term I'm looking for at the moment. Looking at this 4 hour pattern, particularly, the dailies is sort of giving us the clue that it's struggling. It did put a spinning top in yesterday, and well, perhaps, but it didn't manage to break into a new high zone or anything. It's to say, looking a bit flaky to me here. No divergence or anything like this, but a lower high so far, and I'm wondering whether it's got the legs to go any further. At the moment, it's just selling off a bit this morning, already through its daily pivot. So maybe it'll have a little bit more to the downside now. Looking across at sort of this level, maybe a bit too late in terms of entering, but you've still got the 60 minute 100 sitting below, so maybe a bit of safer entrance. But in terms of target, then it's sort of you're looking at yesterday's lows, the S1. Maybe it's still got an untouched weekly pivot. You never know, if it does start rolling over, it could head a good part towards that. But the ranges have been quite tight. You can see the intraday movements being quite choppy. Bit of an undecided market now. That said, if it does start turning around here, gets back above the hourly 21s, then perhaps I could be convinced into the long side and the R1, the previous highs, and maybe even a bigger push. Now, we did see it have a decent run yesterday morning after a bit of a sell-off, but at the moment it does look like it's looking at edging on a weaker side here at the moment. Cable's gone in there. It's nearly into that monthly R1 area. It's pushed up even higher. It's through its weekly 21 there, so I do wonder if it can push on. Next series of highs are right back to these levels around here, about the 127.30 area, which just short of that is the weekly R2 area. Now again, an untouched weekly pivot, but maybe a reasonable distance away from that. Shorter term here, untouched daily pivot today as well, and you could if we see the euro selling off, well, maybe the pound will want to follow suit and come off back towards at least that daily pivot. We'll see how it plays through this morning a little bit. It needs to be a bit patient. It could of course bounce off the 21 moving average and push on up, continue its route. It has of course been the soundest of the markets or currency pairs last couple of days, particularly yesterday, and I still see potential further upside. However, not blind to the fact that it's had such a reasonable run here that it may want a bit more of a correction. So keep an open mind this morning, and need to be waiting to see how, as I say, how it reacts to the 60-21s. If we start to see it bounce off that, I'll join the long side again. I've still got swing long going, but may add in for an intraday trade on that. Okay, dollar yen. Okay, this is also, I mean, yesterday it's only got part way down the previous candle, small, sort of a bearish army in a sense, but seems to be holding up here as well. And there's this sort of, perhaps in the markets here, the dollars, but it's dollar sold off, and well, now it's consolidating a little bit, and it certainly appears across all these markets. So looking at the 4 hourly picture here, really, if it starts breaking above that 4 hourly 50, we may see more to the upside. It's say very bitty here. It did eventually sell off yesterday afternoon for a short while, but didn't last too long in that move. If it can break through this 200, which equates that 4 hourly moving average there, perhaps back towards that weekly pivot, which hasn't been touched actually, so reasonable target if it pushes up that way. On the other hand, if it fails again towards the 200, starts selling off, well, I'd probably wait, be a bit more patient to just let it confirm its move, and just watch for a push down towards this sort of area at least. I need to get it. I'd rather it be below its daily pivot before I started selling. Okay, Aussie dollar. The Aussie still in its complex mode up the top here again, but it's like the euro in a sense. When you look at the 4 hourly, quite messy, but didn't manage to get a new high in, and it sold off on the bad data yesterday morning, and well, it's recovered a good part of that, but selling off again as I look at it. Well, we relative to pivot, we're through the pivot there. It does look weak here again at the moment. In this movement, it's broken the trend of the upward movement from yesterday, and at present, as I say, does look weak, and it may be it can be sold on a retrace. Looking really back towards the weekly pivot, most likely. The 50's been, 200's been already mauled, but maybe a part way. But it certainly looks like it's got more potential for downside at the moment. Whereas one thing I'd be wary of if the euro, the pound start turning. Watch out for the Aussie to turn as well, regardless where it sits at the time. Okay, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar again yesterday followed through with a little bit more selling. It seems that a lot of states are following the agreement and cutting down production of oil, which is probably helping a bit. Trump's mention of pipelines has increased its outlook a little bit as well. But at the moment, just back through into this sort of buying zone a little bit at the moment. If it breaks the 4 hourly 8, well, could be on for the 4 hourly 21, then a bit bigger move there. I think it really stalls. It's the decision comes around about the daily pivot now. Often a bit slower first thing in the morning, and we see it pick up a little bit later. So it's one to watch maybe for today. If it breaks through that 34 moving average, the daily pivot 34 moving average, it could be well back for the 50 and R1 sort of territory, maybe a bit more. Okay, that's pretty much it today. There's not a significant amount of data out, although the data that's out is key. We've got this morning at 9:30, we've got the UK GDP data, which is quite an important number. Let's say 9:30. There are Eurogroup meetings of the heads of the presidents and finance ministers from the Euro area meetings, so there'll be some discussions coming from that. There's an expected deal to be made on Greece bailout mentioned on that, so that may be positive. Euro, we'll see. Later in the day, US unemployment claims, it's just a weekly number, not particularly much, and new home sales, again, very light figures. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.